Okay, you can write as in a separate file, a validation code in one file, and HTML form code in another file you can do, or otherwise you can write both in a single file also. Okay, wait. Okay, I did not enable an option. Just a second. Yeah. 66 students are only there. How can I start the recording? Without seeing that, I started. I said no, to start the recording, you have to at least 75% of your full strength should present. Okay. Okay. So quickly we will see how to create the form body. Within the body, just to note down, within the body for this example, I have written the code to display the form. Okay. Head part we will see. Okay. So form name, this is new one. Inside the form, I have added the name attribute. Okay. Already I said we can use name attribute in any of the control. Okay. We are giving some name, one name for that respective control form element. Okay. This is very useful when you pick up, when you use actually JavaScript, when you pick up the element value, whatever the user submitted. For example, username, I might have entered SIS. Okay. So to pick up the content, what entered by the end user, we have to identify each and every control. Okay. For that, we can create, we can give name for each and every element of the form, and also the form for form also. Okay. Why sometimes no, in a single web page you might have created two different forms in a single web page. In a single web page, you would have created two forms. So that time you have to identify which is first form. When you validate, you have to identify, wait na, which is the first form and which is the second form. Okay. Because first form may have username and the second name form also may have username. Okay. Or first form and second form both may have text box. Okay. Whatever it is, you have to uniquely identify. Okay. So that you have given form name. This form name is FRM I have given. You can give any name. Okay. This is user defined value. Okay. And then as usual, we have given action. But what usually we will give within the action attribute, some URL we have to give. Okay. Some URL matlab what? Destination page after submitted the form where the content should go. Okay. That destination page URL usually you will give. But here I have given asterisk. That means I am not submitting this value any other page. There is no destination page. Okay. Later we can add. Okay. So there is no destination page here. Why? Because JavaScript in this code, I did not write the JavaScript validation code separately. I have written within this program itself. Okay. So that I no need to redirect after submitting this form to any other page. I want to be there in this page only. Okay. That's why this hash symbol I have given. Okay. Hash means no destination page. The destination might be the same page itself. Okay. So method equal to post I have given. You know the difference between post and get method. That is one of the important question. Note down. I usually ask this question in the exam. Okay, difference between post and get method. Okay, in the form. So here I used post method. So any number of many controls I can use. Okay, and also I can use any sensitive password kind of information. So I used post method. Okay, action method. In the form, which is a mandatory attribute, which is mandatory attribute, name, action, method. In this, which is a necessary attribute, compulsory attribute. Which one? Action. Remember. Okay.
Action.
Method. Yes, good. Method also what? Method also option. It's optional. Okay. If you did not mention this, by default method equal to get will be taken. Okay. This you have to know. So action is a mandatory attribute. Okay. I have created the form tag with the 3 attributes, and then I'm creating one by one the controls. First is the name, which is text box. So I am writing input type equal to text. This type equal to text will create text box. And then I'm giving name for text box also. Okay. In a single form, the name of every form control should be unique. You should not repeat. For example, form name equal to FRM, and this name, this control name, the text box name also, I can't give FRM. It should not be repeated. It should be unique. Okay. Okay, so name, I have created the text box with a name and a type attribute. Type is a mandatory attribute. Okay, name is optional, but here we are going to link this with a JavaScript. That's why we are using name. We want to identify the first text box.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
What if we use a ID tag?
ID tag.
ID attribute, sorry.
ID attribute. ID attribute. ID attribute uniquely identifies the element, but it will not provide a particular name for the element. Identifying an element and giving name for element is different. Okay. One second. Okay. So name, we are giving name to box and also for
Your voice is breaking.
row number, employee.
Ma'am, your voice is not clear.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
One second. Okay, the second element also text box. So students, can you hear me now clearly?
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
you hear me? Okay. So user ID also text box. So user ID input type equal to text, name equal to some name we are giving, and then break because the next control should display in the next line. So again enter address also text box. Okay. And then you are creating a drop down box, which is also called a list box, option box. So when you create a drop down box, common name for drop down box you are giving. So inside the select, you are giving the name for drop down box as country. Okay. All these value of the name attributes are user defined. Okay. So now option. Now each and every option or list item you will write using the option tag, option. And within the option tag, you are using the value tag to identify each and every item. You are giving a value for each and every item. And then what you want to display, you will write within the opening and closing, every opening and closing option tag. Okay. So all these will be displayed. This will be only visible. Okay. And then after you created all the options of the drop down box, you are closing the drop down box. Okay. And then you will give one break. And then our next control is what? A radio button. So just one label you are giving as a gender, and then to create each and every radio button, you have to use input tag type equal to radio you have given, through which you're creating the radio button. And then here, look at your name. You're giving name. Already I said that to uniquely identify one set of radio button, you will give the name, same name attribute, a different value attribute. Okay. Remember, one of you asked about the ID attribute. In ID attribute, strictly within a program, within a single program. Here I'm not saying one form, two forms and all. Within a single program, the value of the ID attribute should be unique. Okay. But here, the name attribute, even like the now radio button and all, you can uniquely identify these two. For this two radio button is a one set of radio button. So here you are giving the name for set of radio button. Both the radio button is belonging to one set. Okay. So you are giving same. Why, you may ask, ma'am, why we should not use everywhere we are using name attribute? Why we should not use ID attribute? Because syntactically in JavaScript, to fetch each and every value what the user entered, the syntax is form name dot control name dot value. So this is the JavaScript code to fetch the data, which is data of particular form control entered by the end user. Okay, that we will see during the form validation, because the syntax says that form name you have to give. That is why here we have given form, name for the form. Otherwise, you no need to give the name for form. Okay, form name equal to FRM. Because the JavaScript syntax expects form name dot, you will identify each and every form element by using the following syntax. What is the syntax? Form name dot the control name. For example, the first text box is a control, then uname is a control name. If suppose second text box is a control, form control, second text box is a this uname, second text box use name is a control name. Okay. So like that, you are identifying each and every form element using form name dot control, respective control name dot value. Value is constant, because that value, that keyword only pick up the value which is entered by the user. So form name dot control name, not control ID. Okay, control name dot value. So syntactically, when you link, if you want to fetch the data, using the JavaScript, you have to give the name attribute. Okay, that's why here we are giving the name attribute. This is clear. So radio button, using the name attribute, we are not identifying each and every radio button in one set. We are uniquely identify a single radio button, single set of radio button. Okay. But each and every button should have different value. So we are giving a different value. This is a thing which will be, this is a content text which will be displayed near to the radio button. So radio button and then this content, and then next radio button and then this content, not content, text. Okay. And then you are creating one more button, another element which is button. Here just to aligning, I have given P, but the actual code is what? Input type equal to submit, which create the submit button. And value of the submit button, you know, that is the displayable content, the content what you want to display on the submit button. And here and inside the submit button, because when you click the submit button only, something should happen, some action should be triggered. So that action, what has to be triggered when I submit the click the submit button, that you have written in the JavaScript code in a one function, in one user defined function. That function you are calling here. Okay. So on click equal to validate is a function. Now within this function only, I have written all the validation JavaScript code. But when this function should be executed, when I call, where I called during on click of what? A button, submit button. When I click the submit button, the JavaScript validation code should start to execute. Okay. Where I have written the validation code within the validate function, the user defined function. You know already how to create the user defined function in JavaScript. Now look at the starting of the program. Within the body of the program, I have written the code whichever I showed now. Okay. Within the body of the, we are in single program. Okay. So in the body tag, within the opening and closing body tag only, till now what I explained, I have written. Okay. Now come to starting of the program, HTML. Of course, doc type you have to add. Okay. So HTML, head, script. This language attribute is not required because now we are using the advanced CSS, sorry, JavaScript and HTML5 too. Okay. So we need to give only script tag. Okay. Why? The language equal to JavaScript you no need to mention, because the latest version of JavaScript is having its
Ma'am, you are on mute.
yes, I muted because my signal is weak. Just I move, wait. Okay, students, so script only you have to give. Okay, so you no need to give language equal to JavaScript. And then look at here. Within the head tag, I have written script. Okay, so I'm writing the validation code within the head tag. Remember, okay, because now this how you may ask how I can write the executable statements in the head tag. It should be written in body tag, right? But when we use the function, when actually the function, this is function definition, when the function definition will be executed, when you write the function call. So look at here, function call is the actual executable statement which will trigger the execution of the function definition. that function call, this one, this is function call. That function, validate function, I have called here. So this function call I have written within the body tag only. Okay, this I did not write head within the head tag. If I write this in the head tag, no, it will not work. The complete program will not work. Only the form you will get to see, because the form you have written, the form code you have written within the body tag. But the function call you have written in the head tag, so it will not execute. Okay, as the function call you have written within the body tag, this will be executed, and that will call, this will trigger the execution automatically. It will trigger the execution of what? The function definition. Okay, so that executable function call statement, no, that you have to write within the body tag only. Definition you can write within the head tag, or you can write within the body tag. So this is a function which I kept for my user defined function. I am going to define what is the content of this function. Okay, so this is a user defined function. You know that the in the JavaScript, user definable function or user defined function should start with the keyword function, small letter. Okay, this is a keyword. And then I can write, followed by that, I can write my own function name, whatever I want to keep. Here we may pass some, we may or may not pass the parameter. Okay. To pass the parameter, I have a program I will show you. Okay, after completing the validation. So within the function logic, you know, it should be enclosed with the bracket, this bracket. Okay. So I started this bracket here. I ended that at last. See here, I end that holy braces. Okay, this is a function called closing bracket. Okay. Okay. Now in the function, what I have written, there are three variables I defined. Okay, letters, UID underscore len, user ID length. Okay, length of the user ID that denotes. Okay, UID len, and then all num, which is alphanumeric number, which is alphanumeric character. Okay, all num, letters, UID length, and alphanumeric character. These three are my variables. Inside the first variable, no, that is a what is this? This is a regular expression. Okay. By seeing this 2 forward slash, you should say this is a regular expression. This is a regular expression, what? Regular expression object. Letters is a regular expression object. Now, what regular expression I have written? Listen here. This denotes, this is power symbol actually, but this denotes here the starting of the string. I said in a regular expression, it is that has many identifiers, delimiters, many symbols that has separately. We have to study that each and every symbol for what. Now whichever symbol we are using in the program, only we are understanding that. Okay. So now this symbol denotes, the power symbol denotes what? The starting of the string. Okay. This dollar denotes end of the string. Starting of the string, end of the string. Okay. And capital A to Z, small a to Z are what? Within the bracket. That means my regular expression does not have any simply some word or something. It has A to capital A to Z and small a to Z. Okay. The plus symbol is actually one of the identifiers which denotes that one or more occurrence can come. This A to capital A to Z and the small a to Z, one occurrence or one or more occurrence can come. Okay. So where it will come and all we will see. Okay. Now the regular expression, what is this? This is a starting of the string. This denotes starting of the string. This denotes end of the string. This denotes one or more occurrence of the pattern which is mentioned. What is the pattern you have mentioned? Capital A to Z, small a. Any capital alphabet or small alphabet. Okay, so that is the pattern I have given. Okay. Now in the second variable, look at here what I'm storing. It's not a regular expression. Okay. Some value I am storing. What is that value? That value directly I did not give. I'm picking from the form. Okay. So what I have given, form name dot some control name UID dot value dot length. What this denotes? Where in which text box I have given the name UID. Look at your form code. See, user ID, name equal to UID I have given. That's why we are using name attribute. Okay, because name attribute to pick up the value what is entered in the UID, user ID. It is very useful. Okay, so UID in the user ID control text box. Suppose user ID I may enter 1256. Okay. So that 1256 what I entered will be retrieved using this JavaScript code. What code it is? Form name dot control name. My control name is UID. Okay. Control name dot value. So now till this it will pick up the value. Which number I said? Assume 12356. Okay. That 12356 will be fetched by this statement, and then I don't know, some network issue. In some of the place, no, the network is signal is very weak. So I keep on changing the place. Okay. Okay, so here we are. So I entered 12356. No. So how many characters? 5 characters. So the length is what? 5. So now what is the value of UID underscore LEN? As per my example, 5. 5 will be stored. Okay. 5 will be stored. Then I have another variable. In that variable, again, that is a regular expression variable. Some pattern I have showed. I have stored. So this is the starting of the string. This is the end of the string. This is the number of occurrence of the string, one or more. Okay. What I have given, I did not give only A to capital A to Z, small a to Z. I have given all the integers also, 0 to 9. 0 to 9 integers I have given. So 0 to 9, A to Z, capital small a to Z, capital A to Z is a pattern. Okay. So this pattern can occur one or more times in a given string. Okay. So now come to the logic. First, I am validating the first text box. What is the first element in my form? User name is the first element in my form. Okay, I am validating that text box. How I am validating? Simple validation I have given. Okay. If you just for time being, you ignore this exclamatory symbol. Okay, ignore. I will tell you why. Okay, if frm dot uname dot value dot, now this what this will retrieve? This will retrieve whatever the username the user entered in the first text box. Okay, suppose I entered SIS as a username. Okay, so SIS I have entered in a S capital, IES small, for example. Okay, that is what I entered. So this frm.uname.value will fetch that SIS, and this is a string. SIS is a string. Okay, so string dot match. You remember the match is one of the methods in a string object. Okay, so if I apply match method, what it will do? If any matches find that all the matches will be the elements of the resultant array object. If it does not find the match, then the null will be written. Okay. So now this will find the matches. Okay. Matches of what? Letters. In the letters, what I stored the regular expression. You remember? Capital A to Z, small a to Z is a value which I stored in the letters variable. Okay. So letters may what I stored, capital A to Z, small a to Z, one or more occurrence. Okay. Plus. So if suppose now this will retrieve if any matches found with the string what I entered, which is SIS, with the letters. Letters is what? The A to Z. So in the string what I entered in SIS, if one or more occurrence of A to Z or capital A to Z or small a to Z are there or not, it will find. If it finds, it will display all those findings as a elements, as element of array. Okay, because match method ka result will be array, output will be array. Okay, why I have given not equal to here? If suppose this returns null, when it will return null? When it does not find any value between this capital A to Z or small a to Z. If it does not find, for example, I have written SIS 1. Okay. So SIS 1 is invalid because as per my validation, username should have only alphabetical character. Okay. So 1 comes, that is numeric. So I will validate accordingly. If 1 comes, that is not the valid entry in the username. Okay. So if anything other than the capital or small alphabet comes, that's why the inverse here, inverse. Okay. Exclamatory means not this. Okay. If it finds, then what it has to enter? Username must have alphabet characters only. If it this returns null, if this match returns null, then something other than capital A to Z, small a to Z is entered. Okay. So that is not the valid data for username. So you have to display some pop-up message. You know, to display the pop-up message, when it is popping up, one second. When it is popping up, the user will see the pop-up, and then because they already enter in username, they entered some wrong data. Okay. So uname dot focus. Okay. This is also a method. Okay. This is a window method. Okay. What this will do? This will focus the control cursor pointer will automatically come inside the text box, because this is a error message. After seeing this error message, end user should enter the correct data inside the username text box. So to enter the correct valid username, automatically the cursor pointer should come to the uname text box. Okay, the text box which is having the name as uname. which text box is having uname as text, uname as a name? First text box, which is username text box. Okay, that's why validation of the first control, first text box is over. Now validation of the second text box. What is the second text box? User ID is a second text box. So here what we are validating, if suppose this is not that means I have entered a proper data in a username, then the control will come here. It will check if user ID, UID length is equal to 0, or two pipelines are what? Or UID length is greater than or equal to 10, or UID length is less than 5. If any one of this condition is satisfied, and then that is the erroneous, the invalid entry for that particular control. Which control? User ID control. Why? I expect that the user ID, no, the second text box, the user ID text box should the length of the entry in the user ID text box should be 5 to 10 characters. 5 to 10 only the length. It should not be less than 5. It should not be greater than 10. And it should not be 0 also. Length equal to 0 matlab what? I did not enter anything in the text box. I did not enter anything. I forgot to enter. I left the text box as empty. That is also error, no? That is also invalid. Something should be entered as a user ID. So the user should not leave the text box empty. And the user entry, the length of the user entry should not exceed 10 characters, and the entry should not be, the length of the entry should not be less than 5 also. Okay. So, and then the user ID should not be empty, length should be between 5 to 10. ऐसे कुछ this message I am displaying, because the user, if they enter invalid data, they should know what is the wrong they made. Okay. So for that, the relevant message you have to display. And then after you display the relevant message, it's an alert box. Okay. Of course, the user should click only OK button. After the user clicked the OK button, the cursor pointer should come to UID text box. Okay. Then only they can easily type no. Okay, so for that UID dot focus. So the cursor pointer automatically come to UID. Okay, this is a second validation. Third validation is for address text box. Okay, in the address text box, I just assume anything you can keep. Okay, any validation as per your requirement you can do. My requirement is address may have only alphanumeric character. Okay, any special character should not come. Okay, that is my validation. Okay, so how can I validate that? Form name dot ADR is what? Name of the control dot value. So this will pick up what address the user entered. Dot match, on that entry I am applying what? Match method. Match alphanumeric, all num. All num mein what I have given in the regular expression pattern. Look at here. All num 0 to 9, A to Z, small a to Z, capital A to Z. That is a pattern. Okay. So what I check, what the user entered as the address. What? Not here. If they did not get any of the alphanumeric character, did not get negation. Okay. So I put exclamatory symbol. If this is not, that means match may, if they get null, then only the error message should be displayed. Okay. Then same I am focusing the particular control. And then else, next is my drop down box. Okay. I'm validating the drop down box. How I'm validating the drop down box? Okay, students, time is 1:30. So I end here. The rest of the validation code we will see in the next lecture. Okay. Thank you. This we will see in tomorrow's practical and you will execute the programs also. Okay. Validation code also. Okay. Students, could you follow whatever I taught? Can you understand? Because in between many this network signal weak also. So can you follow? Students,
Yeah, ma'am, we can
could you?
follow it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, students. You all can leave. The rest of the thing we will see in the next lecture. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.